storms, we decode the show. Hidden Easter eggs, lines to know. Three friends laughing, munching snacks. Lois and Clark, we're always coming back. Ooh, ooh.
I'm Molly.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to Folks Forever, a Lois and Clark rewatch podcast.
We're three fans who've been loving LNC since 1993.
Each week we'll recap one episode and talk about at least one LNC-related topic.
If you would like to learn more about who we are, how we became folks, and or how we became friends, check out our intro episode.
Today we're going to be discussing Season 1, Episode 8, The Green, Green Glow of Home. And we have a special guest with us today. He's the host of the long-running Lois and Clark'd, the new podcast of Superman, which has been a joy and an inspiration for all of us. A super welcome to Matt Truex.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me. It's so funny to hear the podcast said in like kind of a serious announcer way there, like Lois and Clark did the new, Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for having me on such a great episode. Spoilers.
Exciting.
We're happy to have you.
And I like your shirt.
Thank you. Again, no one can compete with your collection, but
No.
I've got a few things.
For our listeners, he's got a blue shirt with the Lois and Clark logo on the front.
That I scanned off the box of the trading cards. The box,
Scott,
the trading.
yeah.
If anybody knows what I suspect, most everybody listening to this knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I will always be shown up by Julie's background, but I was like, at least I've got to do a little song. I've got a half-made time machine up here too, if you can see it.
Nice.
In the
Oh,
hall.
cool. I was gonna ask, like, how far are you? Halfway?
I mean, it's pretty far. I need to.
It looks almost done.
This is a dumb thing. I'm allergic to super glue, so like I need to take a minute to like really go outside and mask up and do it a day. But
That is awesome.
it's coming along.
Wow.
And now I'm gonna break it.
Is this
Don't break it.
Is this the OG time machine, or is this the one that Superman builds later in the episode?
This is OG. This is as H.G. Wells intended it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my
Love
gosh.
it. That's a lot of work. But that's cool.
Labor of
I love
love.
it.
Yeah.
love it.
Isn't all of this a lot of work? But here we are.
I was just
love
talking about replicating the Godzilla. I want the Godzilla.
Thought about that too. Yeah.
I thought you already got that. Okay.
No, but I want to.
Yeah, please. Tomorrow you're gonna be like, so I found the Godzilla.
I was searching for one.
Do it.
Fun.
Well,
Yeah.
We're so glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here, guys. Like this is so exciting. And I was telling Julie I'd listened to your pilot, well, your intro, your pilot, and the Strange Visitor. And are you guys enjoying it?
Yeah, this is my favorite part of it, like doing the recording. Doing it. Yeah,
because then someone's got to edit it, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
We share.
We take turns. Turns. I'll do one, Molly will do one, Jen. We just kind of rotate.
I'm happy to be here, and I'm really thankful that I got such a good episode. So thanks.
Such a good one.
Yeah, you didn't want to come on for Smart Kids?
I'm so sorry. Like the connection's
what the heck?
bad. No, I'd really rather not. Thank you.
I knew you'd pick this one.
Yeah, no, this is an exciting one.
Just wait till if you listen to that one with our opinions on that one. I mean, we were nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were nice.
Yeah.
But it's tough to be too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It's like maybe I'll say it again on the recording, but like what I used to say was like your worst day watching Lois and Clark is better than most other days. But some of them are like it's better by a hair, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
No, that wasn't even our least favorite. Our least favorite has been Requiem,
Boxing.
pretty
The
much.
boxing one.
Oh yeah,
Boxing.
Requiem sucks.
Yeah.
Requiem sucks till the end when Lex shoots the guy and Lois runs into his arms, and that for me is like, you guys pulled that off. Well done. You know?
Oh,
Gosh.
No.
That's a wham, man.
That whole episode, I'm just better off. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I can still look at my people on the screen, but it's just yeah. You guys know.
You don't like sports expert Lois Lane?
No. And Clark suddenly into boxing. Like, where
Yeah,
did that
yeah,
come
yeah.
from?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. So
You play football, golf, and probably something and basketball, sir, not
Basketball.
boxing. Yeah.
Yeah,
where
baseball.
did that come from?
Yeah, yeah. Occasionally you umpire baseball. Yeah. You do that.
Yeah. So we have some questions for you. I remember from listening to your podcast that you discovered the show when it was on TNT.
Yes.
Yes. Do you happen to remember the first episode that you ever saw?
I was trying to think about that the other day, honestly. We're doing these season ranking episodes right now that I'm having a blast with, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is going to sound really stupid, but it was either season 2 or season 4. Like I kind of think the first thing I saw was the end, and I felt like lucky because like remember like reruns, if you were like watching reruns and knew how to go online to TNT.com, excuse me, and see the episode guide, you knew like, oh, in 4 days it's going to start over and I'll be able to watch it. Like I kind of think I saw the end of it first and was starting to learn it a little bit and then got to have some good runway with it. So like it wasn't long before I watched it, beginning to end, I guess, as a kid.
I feel like it would be weird to start in season 4
I
and then
mean,
go back because they're so different.
as a not discerning like 10-year-old, I guess it was at that point, it was totally fine. Like that's the time to
Completely
jump
different.
in. That's the time to really appreciate season 4 at 10 years old,
Yeah.
Were Lois and Clark already together when you were watching that first episode?
I
Or
get like if it again,
Same.
I'm sorry that I don't have like a specific memory of it. The more specific memory for me is watching Tomorrow Never Dies, which was my first Bond movie. And my parent, I grew up in an age of Batman. I'm a 1990 baby, which is when like Batman was really exploding because of the movie and the animated. So, like it was just all things Batman, and occasionally his friend Superman would pop up in a picture or something that I was watching. I'm like, I know him as a friend of Batman. That's what he is to me. And then I took to, as a 9-year-old whatever kid, I took to the Bond movie so much that my parents were like, oh, you know that pretty lady from the Bond movie? She's actually in a Superman. Like, you should check this out. And it was through there that they were like, eventually I found my way to TNT in the morning and started watching it.
so do you like what year was that? That it was
Yikes.
on TNT.
That would have been, I mean, you guys tell me when it started on TNT, but I think I was watching it in 2000.
2000?
Yeah, I think it was like
You
the
wanna say?
summer of 2000.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Wow.
That sounds right to me.
I
feel
know.
like it
Sorry,
does,
I'm
yeah.
coming in. I'm the young whippersnapper here, but
Yeah.
that's,
No, I know. We're the get off my lawn. It's fine. Yeah.
We're the old ones.
well, it's time that you've taken over the conversation here for Lois and Clark.
Well, we all have stories about TNT and how we convinced our parents to get cable and all these things. And
Yep, and
Um,
stole cable from the
Yeah.
poor innocent cable company, Julie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, oops.
Yep. Basically, you could track my interests as a kid from what was being played on TNT in the morning, because I went from that to like Buffy Angel Charmed, like all of these things became like TNT staples.
it used to air in the afternoon here, and then I think the evening on the East Coast, and then it was always like right after Kung Fu, the legend
Yeah.
continues or something.
I remember The
Yes.
Pretender too, whatever that show was.
Oh yeah,
Molly
No,
likes the
it's-
Pretender.
I did.
Okay. I saw the end. I saw the last 2 minutes of a lot of episodes of The Pretender waiting for Lois and Clark.
That's
Yeah. So when did you start your podcast? I know I found your podcast, I think in 2020, but you were already doing it for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It took a while, is the real answer. I started with a co-host who had never seen the show, and like that was the idea. Like I was showing him the show basically in December 2015. So basically 2016. And then we were young and stupid and going through those young volatile 20s times of your life where there were a lot of breaks, a lot of long pauses between seasons and things like that. And then eventually that friend who didn't know the show, understandably didn't need to spend all of his free time watching and then talking to me about it. So he jumped ship for me in season 3. And then I kind of did it with rotating guests for season 3 through 4. But like my joke at the time was like the 4-season podcast or the 4-season show took me like 8 years to podcast about,
Yeah.
basically.
Space it out.
Yeah, exactly. Savor
You
it.
know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
It'll take us a while to get to season 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I heard that,
few
and you guys
years.
are going to 2 weeks, which I think are like once every 2 weeks, which
Every
is
2 weeks.
so important. Like, it's the best thing I ever did. I get it.
It's still a lot.
It's still a
It is.
lot, but
Yeah.
it's at
Yeah.
least it's not like that constant like because like I mean you're doing it because you love it, right? Like there's no need
Exactly.
to hurt each other with it either.
Yeah. Okay, so very, very important question. Favorite Jimmy, Michael Landis or Justin Whalen? Jimmy 1, Jimmy 2. Which one?
Growing up as a kid, I never had a preference. Rewatching season 1 and 2 kind of back to back recently for these ranking episodes I've been doing, I'm like, oh, Michael Landis is
Okay.
the stronger actor for me. Like I like them both, and I think Justin Whalen has some really good moments throughout, but also by the time he got there, the show was not that interested in what Jimmy or Perry were up to, except for like maybe an episode every year. So he didn't really like,
Yeah.
I think there was less attention paid to the Daily Planet fam in general by then. So that's partly a system, but it's partly a symptom of that. But my God, Michael Landis is kind of undeniable in season 1.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's classic.
Yeah. But I wouldn't kick any out of bed, as my grandmother used to say. I love them both. So
Yes. It's a hard question. Like, I don't know what I would choose. So
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Hard.
Clark from Our Earth or Clark from Tempest Earth. It's
yeah, they both have good
Somebody-
qualities, right?
yeah, I like Sad Clark.
Matt, you've had quite a few special guests on your podcast. Kay Callan, Tracy Scoggins. We've enjoyed listening to those interviews. Who has been like your favorite?
As far as like the celebs go, or the actors, I'll say, Kay Callan was like the one I didn't realize until I booked her. Like, I am so nervous to talk to this woman. Like, I love this woman so, I love her performance as Martha so much, which we will get into here shortly. And then to talk to her 20 plus whatever years after the show ended, she is in her 90s. She is sharp as a tack. She's reminding me of things that we said we'll put a pin in and talk about at the end as I'm wrapping up the interview. It was Metropolis. She was like, oh, you forgot to ask me about Metropolis. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry. Okay. Like, she was just so lovely.
She's so cute.
And yeah, like I'm sure any fan who's had an interaction with her would have the same thing to say. I'm also someone that's super into the aesthetics of the show. Like, I love that it's a critic would call it cheap looking at times. Like, I love that there is a really tangible element to this show. So I got to nerd out hard with Jim Pohl, who was the production designer starting mid-season 1 and then stayed with the rest of the show. And like, I would buy him dinner at the most expensive restaurant in the world just to talk with him for another hour. That was a really thrilling one for me. So those two are top of the heap.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
The Green Green Glow of Home first aired on November 14th, 1993. Just to paint a picture of the time, the song I'd Do Anything for Love had topped the charts in both the United States and the United Kingdom for the past few weeks. But I thought it would be fun to look at the #1 songs in other countries, because I know Lois and Clark eventually had viewers around the globe. In Germany, the #1 song was Go West by the Pet Shop Boys. In France and Italy, the #1 song was Living on My Own by Freddie Mercury. In Canada, it was No Rain by Blind Melon. And in Spain, you had Boom, Shake the Room by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Oh my God.
That's
Nice.
cool.
I also wanted to mention the artists that released their first recording of any song ever at some point during 1993. Believe it or not, they've been around this long. Shania Twain, Usher, The Fugees, Blink-182, Sheryl Crow, the Dave Matthews Band, Liz Phair, Outkast, and Beck. 1993.
1993
Wow.
was the height of culture. We had this show. We've got
And
Shania
Shania
and
Twins.
Blink, and oh my God! Can I just compliment you guys? Like, I think this is such a cool segment as a listener of the show. Like, I think it's just like a lovely thing to like place it in time, especially since you guys were like there, living with it with every week. It's
We
it's
were
a very cool
alive.
thing.
You like DJ Jazzy Jeff?
I mean, I did at the
Ooh,
time.
shake the
Yeah,
room.
yeah. Will Smith ruled the 90s. Yes, him and Jim Carrey were life,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Every Lois and Clark episode had a title. Sometimes the titles are a play on words or a reference to an old movie or song. The Green Green Glow of Home is a play on the 1965 country song Green Green Grass of Home. Written by Claude Curly Putman Jr., it has been covered by many artists, including Johnny Cash, Joan Baez, and Tom Jones.
Never heard it.
Yeah.
Never.
This is news. This is
Yeah.
breaking news to me.
I'm going to have to look that one
Same.
up.
I think I'm going to do the Joan Baez version first, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it one time on TV, and I was like, Green Green Grass. Wait, that's the title of the Hey!
I do love
Oh,
in general that Lois and
connection.
Clark does like the silly title thing. That
Mhm.
some shows do like the pretentious title, and Lois and Clark is just like, oh, we'll change a word of a thing, whatever, who cares? Like
So
Yeah.
far, there's
Yeah.
been a few of those. All right. Do any of you have memories of your first time seeing this episode? Matt?
I don't have a specific like where I was like because again it was all pretty much a blur that summer when I watched it all through. But I do remember I would get excited when there were things I knew that were like coming. They were supposed to be in a Superman thing, and I remember like any time Kryptonite was on in the show, I was like, oh, this is a real episode. We got Kryptonite here, like the stakes are high. So yeah, nothing specific, but I'm sure I got excited seeing anytime somebody pulled out that green rock, I was happy.
I just remember being like super excited because it seemed like they were on a date in part of the episode. It was very cutesy when they were at the festival and dancing, even though Clark can't dance. Come on, that was pretty bad.
Mhm.
But also the forehead touch at the end, I remember thinking, oh, how cute.
Yeah.
And anything with Martha and Jonathan. I mean, I love them. So they always make the
Yeah.
episode cute.
I kind of have flashbulb memories of this one. I remember them going to Clark's hometown, and I remember the dress and her putting her foot in her mouth repeatedly. And I thought that was really funny. And then the lake scene where Clark and Trask get into it and they fight it out. I remember that, and it stuck with me. And I don't like fighting, but that was a good scene. So I just remember loving it and watching it over and over again.
This is one of those episodes that actually aired on ABC 3 times, but I know that I saw it at least twice. And the first time I watched it, I remember thinking the scene where Clark wins the High Striker hammer game and Lois has to choose between a stuffed animal and a stuffed Superman was hilarious. You're being offered a Superman toy and Superman's standing right next to you and you don't even know it. The height of humor right there. And I remember my dad rarely watched the show with us, but after that aired, I went and told him about this scene. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so funny, blah, blah, blah. And then the next time the episode aired, as soon as I figured out it was that one, I went and got him and I was like, you have to come in, you have to watch this scene because it's so funny.
Aww.
I don't know why. I mean, it is a good scene, but boy, I thought that was hilarious. Yeah.
We'll get to
one
that
and
scene. I've
also-
got many thoughts about that scene. I love that scene.
Mhm.
Before we get into our more detailed discussion of the Green Green Glow of Home, we'll be giving our very own summaries in 16 words or less. And we'll start with Jen.
All right. Mine is a weird green rock ruins Clark's day. Trask goes swimming, and Lois coins Kryptonium. Kryptonite.
Here.
Love it.
Mine is Lois and Clark visit Smallville, and we get 46 minutes of cuteness, corn, and kryptonite.
Corn.
Corn. Corn. We're gonna have to use that
Corn-o-rama?
corn.
There's like 30 minutes of cuteness in this, but
Corn. I'm next, right? Okay. Okay. The original one that I came up with is probably not appropriate, but I'll tell y'all anyway, and we can either bleep it or just cut it out.
No,
Okay.
you have to do it now.
Let's go.
Okay. Lois teaches Clark how to put it in his mouth and suck on it. Hey, it's true. Okay.
Okay, that's good enough. I love
Yeah. A more PG
Perfect.
appropriate version. Clark learns that paper cuts suck, and that he should never use a thermometer when he's sick.
I like both of those, but my favorite's the first one. So good.
I'm very worried you'll have to cut this now, but I knew you guys would be so good
You're
at the
fine.
summary thing, so I thought, well, what if it was like a wanted, like a dating wanted ad? So, big city girl seeking modern artist and cross-dressing grill chef for Cornfest shuck-off.
Love it.
Nice. That's
a
awesome.
good one.
Couldn't compete with actual summaries.
Sometimes our
perfect.
summaries aren't really summaries. It just depends on our moods.
I mean,
No.
yeah, go with the muse. Let creativity take you.
Our guest stars for this episode are Jolene Lutz, who played Rachel Harris, Sheriff Rachel Harris. She's best known for Pushing Daisies, and she did 8 episodes of Port Charles and 1 episode of Desperate Housewives. Jerry Hardin played Wayne Eyrig. He is best known for Big Trouble in Little China, The Firm, The X-Files, and Cujo, and he also did a few episodes of Dr. Quinn, Melrose Place, and Murder, She Wrote.
The competitor, Murder, She Wrote. He's double dipping here.
Yeah. I remember him from the X-Files. His name was Deep Throat, not to be confused with
Wayne
Sore Throat.
Eyrig was Deep Throat on X-Files?
Deep Throat. Yes.
Of course he was. Never put that. He wasn't in a suit or a trench coat. I never put that together. Sorry.
Crazy. I've never seen it.
You can guess
never
it
seen
was
the
a
X-Files?
government informant of some kind. Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We also have L. Scott Caldwell, who played Carol Sherman. Best known for The Fugitive, Dragonfly, The Net, and Lost, the TV series, and lots of appearances on many different shows. We also have Terrence Knox, played Jason Trask, best known for Tour of Duty, Best Years Gone, St. Elsewhere, and The Pretender. And one more, I can't leave out, Sharon Thomas Kane, played Maisie. This is Dean Kane's mother, shocking gasp. Best known for Young Guns, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, The Principal, and Calendar Girl, and she'll be back later in episodes of Lois and Clark. She did 3 total, including this one. Do you guys know which other ones she did? There are 2 others.
Yes.
Okay. This is easy, right? What do you want to
Just
say?
Noah.
Okay.
The season's greetings. Yeah.
Yeah,
Season's
okay.
greetings.
Easy. I'm with pros. Cool. That's what I got.
We're so cool. Look at all of us answering that question.
So we've been keeping track of Lois and Clark guest stars who are related to other Lois and Clark guest stars, and we've had a few so far, actually. Obviously, Dean Cain and his mom. There's one pairing here, but there's another one. Does anyone know what it is? Okay.
No.
No, do not.
Apparently. There's a lot of blank stares here. Yeah.
Jerry Hardin, Wayne Eyrig, is the real-life father of Melora Hardin, who comes to us in season 2 and plays Molly Flynn in Operation Blackout.
Jan from The
Yes!
Office
Jan
is
from
the
The Office.
daughter of Deep Throat? That's
Of Deep Throat.
crazy.
Wow.
I'm learning so much today.
Mind
It's
blown.
crazy. Oh, man. Well, that's interesting. I'm just thinking all of my office scenes with Jan now and
Yeah.
Wayne Eyrig. It's a crossover I never knew I was gonna
She's
think
calling Wayne Eyrig to say hi from her car phone as she's walking into Dunder Mifflin. No, they had cell phones. Sorry. Car phone is such a Lois and Clark.
Car phone.
Yeah.
Carbo.
on the Bieber.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the episode.
So we open with Superman helping with a carjacking. The bad guy pulls a gun on Superman, but of course it's ineffective. We hear, "Man, don't nothing hurt you." To which Superman responds, "Not so far." Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Cue a dramatic thunderclap there.
Exactly. And also, random fact, this is the only time that we see Superman in his suit this entire episode. So it's stormy, and we see Wayne Eyrig knock on the Kent's door. Jonathan answers, and they talk about how the storm a few days ago blew an oak tree out of the ground, and he found a rock. He sent a piece off to the lab to test, and now there are federal agents asking questions and sending bulldozers. Eyrig is delivering a metal box to Jonathan to look after. Eyrig opens it up, and the rock glows green. They exchange puzzled looks, and then we get our opening credits.
I mean, were you guys excited the first time? Like, did you know what it was the first time you saw it?
I didn't.
No.
Okay.
I
No.
think I did.
Well, get
I did,
ready.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like this was my introduction to Superman. I
Sure.
probably watched the movies at some point, but I was like, oh, it's a rock. Cool. But yeah, probably initially, I don't think I knew.
I think I totally get that because this is like where I learned Superman, but I'd probably seen some of the animated series before it enough to know, the words and Lex Luthor and Kryptonite and things like that. So I knew it was a big deal.
Yes. So now we're in the Daily Planet, and Jimmy is running late, literally running. Kat is scolding him and telling him that she prefers leather, and neither of them were talking about fashion. Oh, Kat. He's talking about his watch, which he thinks he could use to get in touch with Superman, and Kat asks if she could see it. Meanwhile, Clark and Lois and Perry are in the newsroom discussing a potential story in Smallville about Wayne Eyrig when Clark hears an annoying, high-pitched sound. Clark excuses himself. He walks over to Kat and Jimmy, who are messing with the watch.
Jimmy, the man's a superhero, not a dog.
Did you guys catch that? I don't know.
Dog.
I'm
I
always
did.
picking up the dog stuff in this because I'm crazy dog lady. So, and then Clark snatches it away, telling Jimmy that maybe he should only use that in a real emergency.
Just a quick question. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Julie,
please.
can you show us the watch? I assume it's behind you somewhere.
I wish.
Have you tried? Like, have you looked for it? Do you know what it is? I never looked into this too closely.
No,
Okay.
but I would love to have it.
Dang.
I
Yeah,
would
me
get
too.
it if I could.
Yeah.
We'll see who can get it first.
Yeah,
Matt or
okay.
Julie.
Yeah.
It's on. Here we go.
It's a prop off. Here we go.
And go.
Yeah.
Matt will just make it.
Yeah, true.
I thought it was cool. I mean, I'm really late to like the comics. Julie's read a bunch of comics. Me, I've read like half of the comics in that one Lois and Clark tie-in book, and that's about it. But reading one of those, I saw Jimmy's watch, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's from the comics." And so then I looked more into it, and yeah, apparently the very first Jimmy Olsen individual comic ever had the watch, and they got rid of it after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, but then they brought it back. But Lois and Clark, Deborah Joy probably was pulling from that, but they only used it in this one episode. Kind of like a nod to the comics, but also we don't want this in our show because it makes things too easy or too Jimmy centric. I don't know.
Yeah, God forbid we spend time on Jimmy as we discussed.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love that they like this is an episode where they're pulling two things directly from the comics. One is a little more obvious and a bigger thing, but this is the one that shows like, oh, they're trying here. Like despite the complaints that they weren't, Superman focused early on, and truly the fact that we've already like rapped on Superman on the Superman costume in this episode. Like they're trying to play along here. It's very cool.
Yeah, they're doing such a good job. So Lois definitely doesn't want to go to Smallville, but Perry mentions the word Pulitzer Prize, and so this is definitely happening. Now we're in Smallville at a rail crossing, waiting. Lois and Clark are talking in the car. Lois is pro-city, and Clark is trying to talk her into some good old country living. Basically, everything out of Lois's mouth is a snide remark about Smallville. Quick question, city life or country life? Do you have a preference, anyone? If you had to choose.
I think everybody knows my answer. I'm a
Country?
country girl.
You're a country girl.
I got goats, so
I got goats.
I can't have goats in the city, so I'm not giving up my
Anyone else?
babies.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I guess I'm city. I'm in suburbs of Los Angeles, looking at palm trees right now. So I've got no backing for that. But um, city life in general, I guess.
Nice.
You don't want any goats?
I'm good on I'm set on goats. I love being able to walk to do takeout. Like that's the life for me.
That's the thing. I love being so near the airport and so near like all the food and all the things. But I do love nature. But if I really have to choose, it's going to be the city.
Me too.
I do
I'm
remember
sorry.
when
Yeah.
Molly was at my house and you were looking, I don't know if you were looking Google or what you were looking at, and you were like, there really is nothing out here. I told you there's nothing. There's nothing around my house.
This is nice though,
Nothing.
Julie. You're the Clark with a bunch of Loises on the call here. This is good.
Yeah.
I know. It's okay. We appreciate it all, right? It's all good. So Clark mentions that this weekend Smallville is holding its annual corn festival. Lois is like, this is a good thing. And Clark just starts listing off the great things about it. Things like the Corn Queen pageant, the Husk Off, the Corn-O-Rama, popcorn, creamed corn, corn on the cob. It reminded me of like the Gump, the shrimp gumbo, pan fried, deep fried.
Gosh.
And now Lois and Clark have arrived at the dig site, and Carol Sherman tells them that it's off limits to the public. Lois confirms that they're not the public, they're the press. And the statement they've already given won't do. Clark steps in and introduces himself and says that as the Daily Planet, they cover the world. Carol calls the site an ecological risk assessment. According to her, the owner used a lot of pesticides during the 60s, and they are concerned about seepage into the local groundwater. That's it. Public safety. No big story. Lois asks to talk to the property owner, Wayne Eyrig, but he's been relocated, and Carol says she doesn't know where he went. Lois says they'll check back later. After Lois and Clark go back to the car, they discuss Wayne Eyrig and how Clark used to love caramel apples that they gave out on Halloween. And
I love caramel apples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Me
down
too.
for this. Look, he's making a good case for country living. I will say that.
For real. So Trask is with Wayne Eyrig. He's drilling Eyrig, saying that there are two possibilities. Either he buried it somewhere on his farm or he gave it to someone. Just then, Carol Sherman walks in. She is shocked to see Eyrig there, confused because he was supposedly relocated. She starts asking questions and realizing that she's been deceived. She attempts to put her foot down and say that she will not be a part of this, but Trask won't stand for it and threatens her with her life and her daughters. Carol backs down and mentions that Clark and Lois from the Daily Planet were there, and this excites Trask because that means Superman can't be far behind.
Well, we know that this is a continuation of Strange Visitor, and Trask was introduced there, and this is, they're like this little mini arc, about 6 episodes apart. However, this episode's also good on its own, too. But had you seen that earlier episode and you know who Trask is and what he's after, I think that's interesting. Here he is again.
I couldn't agree more. Like, I love what they set up in Strange Visitor, and I like the ending they give Trask here, but I either want Bureau 39 to come back more, or I want there to be a version where Trask, escapes somehow, like limps away with a shotgun or like with a gunshot wound or whatever, and lives to torment them another day. I think the scary part of a secret government true believer in going against Superman is a really interesting thing for this show.
Exactly. He was a great villain.
Yeah.
To get rid of him after just 2 episodes was kind of sad.
Yeah. They do a great job with it again too in both
Great.
episodes. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I just want more because they did a good job.
That's so perfectly said, because I agree completely. It's just so final, and it's not like we can end of season 2, beginning of whatever, bring him back after jumping off of a building. Like, it's
Right.
just, we're still in the realistic portion of Lois and Clark, where it's like, other than guy who flies, but
Realistic.
you know what I'm saying, right?
I get you. Dr.
Yes,
Gretchen
totally.
Kelly never even met this guy, so there's no way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now we're at the corn festival, and it looks kind of fun. They're at the gazebo portion of the Warner Brothers studio, and Lois feels like Dorothy. But Clark corrects her. Dorothy wanted to go back to Kansas. Lois glances at a dress hanging on a mannequin while Clark reconnects with a sheriff named Rachel, who apparently went to a dance with Clark back in the day and might still carry a small flame for him. Rachel seems relieved that it's completely professional between Lois and Clark, and also tells Clark that she hasn't seen Wayne Eyrig in a while. After Clark mentions how normal it is in Smallville, Lois points out regular Joe over there, claiming he's probably a crossdresser. But oops. Lois suddenly finds her foot directly in her mouth as Clark's mom comes over and introduces herself.
Oh, honey, that's Clark's father. I can't get him to buy a dress for me, let alone one for himself.
I was just illustrating a point, really.
I can't even get him to buy him a dress for me, let alone for him.
Oh, she just
Too
laughs it off.
funny.
She's so good. I love the Kents. Oh my gosh.
We haven't seen them in a few episodes. They haven't been here since, I want to say, I'm Looking Through You.
It's been a
Oh,
while.
wow. Okay. I think of
Yeah.
them in every episode of season 1,
Yeah.
but that's interesting.
We've been missing them.
Yeah, because they're perfect.
In the draft, there was a really cute scene cut out from the barbecue pit with Jonathan where Lois meets Jonathan. I'm kind of sad they cut it because it's kind of funny. Jonathan says, I feel like I know you already, Lois. Care for an ear? And Lois is like, sure. Why do you feel like you know me? And Jonathan says, because Clark can't stop talking about you. How good looking you are. What the heck, Jonathan?
Really
Wow.
blowing up Clark's spot here, Jonathan. But
Exactly.
that is a thing I love about it's I mean, they cut that scene, so it's mostly Kay, it's mostly Martha,
Yeah.
but like you get the feeling that like Martha and Jonathan are the only people that know the name of the show that they're in. Like they're both so into it already. And
Yeah.
I as a fan, I read a lot into that character wise, just because you got it. But it's the best.
I love
Yeah, and they
that.
explain in that scene, they explain why Lois is staying at the farm instead of getting a motel because the corn festival and
Corn
everything's
festival.
booked and all of that. They didn't
Yep.
explain any of that, but it was kind of assumed, I guess.
That would have been cool if they had kept that. I like that.
Is that not in the episode? That sounds familiar to me, but maybe you're right.
Lois makes
Not.
some sort of not serious mention
Yeah.
of the hotels being booked because of the corn festival.
Got
It's
ya,
almost
okay.
sound like she's
Yeah,
That's
later
what I
on.
love
Walking
about
it
TV.
too.
One line is all you need to buy
Yeah.
some crazy shenanigans,
All right. So Martha calls Lois pretty and asks Clark if it's okay that she said that. And it's really cute because he's like, I don't know. Just ask her.
Yes, Lois.
They all enter the Kent's farmhouse, and Clark mentions needing to receive a fax. Lois butts in, trying to explain what a fax is. How embarrassing, since Martha knew all that and just needed to make sure that her fax had paper. Foot, meat mouth again. Martha tells Lois,
Now, Lois, you'll be in Clark's room. Clark, you'll be on the couch. Unless you two are...
No, we're not. No, not.
Oh,
awkward.
She's always teasing with that stuff.
Can I do like the fan like thing I read so much into this, where it's just like their son has been all over the world, right? He's traveled with the tribes of New Guinea and gotten the paba leaves, whatever other things are cut out of the pilot, and the fact that they cue into him talking about her so early in the pilot, it's like, to me, it's like, oh, their son has gone all over the world, met a million different people. He has never talked about somebody the way he talks about Lois. And that's the vibe I get to me. Like, he's never brought a girl home. Yes, it's his partner and blah, 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 but let's be real. Like it's just perfect.
It's different this time.
Yeah.
And we all know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martha really does want to help it along as fast as she can too.
Like, clearly she knows they're not doing anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay in his room.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it's
come
all
on.
just to incept
Yeah.
them. It's like, it's all
Jeez.
Martha playing a
It's like,
long
oh.
game here.
Yeah.
I also love how bad of a liar Lois is when she's looking at that ugly painting of the fruit bowl.
That
She's
you and
like, I
I would
like
kill
it.
for, to be clear.
Yes, I
But
want it. I still want it, but it is ugly. But I like how she's like, I like it. What is it?
I think it's kind
full
of
of
cool.
fruit.
Molly's like,
Yeah,
I'll
Full of
take it.
fruit.
I like modern art, you know?
Yeah.
So Martha then ushers Lois to Clark's room, quietly mouthing, I love her. So cute.
The best.
Which leaves Clark and his dad alone. Jonathan mentions how the federal agents are not looking for pesticides. He explains that Wayne Eyrig found a rock. Clark is like, all this for a rock? The two of them go over to the garage or barn or whatever, and Jonathan opens the box and Clark starts kneeling over in pain with a grimace look on his face. He goes, I'm feeling kind of strange. And I love this part because Jonathan just like points and he gives it a second, like, and he's like, my God, do you think it could be this? I don't know why. I just feel like if my son were on the ground, you would be on your knees. And he just stands there and points. It just cracks me up every single time I see it. But
Especially your
Like,
son
turn
who has
around, turn
never
around.
buckled over in any sort of pain once in his life. You know?
exactly. And it's just kind of matter of fact. My God, do you think it could be this?
Oh my God.
And he's legit flailing around on the ground. It's
I
okay.
have a question. When he falls over into like some chicken feed. Do they have chickens?
One
Well, I
assumes.
sure didn't see any in the episode. I was looking.
I never hear them talk about animals, but they must have chickens because they
Yeah.
have chicken food.
Sure, why not? They did
They
on
should.
Smallville, in fairness, so why not?
That's true. They
Also,
should
by
have
the way,
chickens, but
just to be the nerd here, like this show invents the Kryptonite sound that then is carried over into Smallville, and maybe some other things too that I'm unaware of. But like I remember that as a kid thinking like, well, that's what Kryptonite sounds like, and then only growing over to it and being like, oh, they stole that. Okay, interesting, cool. Yeah.
I also saw when they entered in the shed or whatever the heck they're in, the shed, I guess. There, when they turn the light on, there's an X light. Did anybody see that behind them?
No.
Like the light is in the
Yep.
shape of an X. And I was like, is this a homage to like the X-Files?
To-
Because it was just weird. It's who's got an X light?
Isn't that how they used to signal Deep Throat too?
Yes. And I was like,
Interesting.
but he's in this episode. So I was like, it was around the same time, but they'd be filming at the same time. I don't know.
Still great
just thought it was
eagle-eyed
weird.
viewing, Julie. That was pretty good.
Study this.
But I mean, who's got an X light in their barn or shed or garage or whatever
I
the
always
heck that
keep
thing
mine
is?
in the barn. Yeah.
Yeah. And a cheetah. Did you see the cheetah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we watch
You
the
saw the
same
cheetah, Molly?
episode? What did we?
What?
We are always looking for weird like props and things in people's houses. We saw
Look.
R2D2 in Smart Kids in their
Yes.
lair.
Yes, but with a different head on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I'm assuming the cheetah has something to do with Martha's art. I don't know.
Sure.
It might be.
Maybe.
Sure.
It's
They don't
great.
strike me
Yeah,
as
it's
big
like-
game hunters. Yeah.
No. No.
Oh, that's Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Jonathan goes over to try to help Clark, but he's unconscious. He yells out for Martha's help as the camera looks down on a helpless father trying to help his son.
And he didn't close the lid of the box.
For whatever reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Right.
didn't know. He didn't know.
Jonathan.
Gee, you think it could be this?
Do you
I
think
should
it could be
close the
this?
lid? Martha comes in, she's like, smack. What the? All right, so during the commercial break, Martha and Jonathan manage to revive Clark, and they help him into the house where he sits down at the kitchen table. Martha feels Clark's forehead and says he's burning up. So she pops a thermometer in Clark's mouth, and a few seconds later, it explodes. But we don't have time to worry about potential mercury poisoning here, guys. Martha and Jonathan are concerned for Clark, and when Clark says that he thinks he feels better, but then can't even lift a water pitcher, yeah, they're worried.
How do you guys feel about Kryptonite affecting him so much in this episode?
It's used very differently in every single episode, but this is the first time
Yeah.
that he's exposed. So in my brain, that's maybe why it hits him so hard because he's never been exposed except as a tiny little baby, but like his first real exposure. And he wasn't outside in the sun, so he's in the dark. So maybe
And
that can hit him more.
It's the biggest
And
chunk
it's
that he's
huge.
ever.
Yeah, that's
later on
true.
It's not like a
little
piece, it's huge.
It's a continent from Kryptonite or from Krypton. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always considered it, especially after 2020 with COVID, like your first exposure to COVID,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
You're sick
Fair,
the
yes.
first time, it's the worst. But then if you think about it in terms of
Perfect.
like a young child, the first time they get a scratched knee or something, like that is the worst pain that they've ever experienced in their whole life. And they're screaming and they're crying. And it's like, come on, you just scratch your knee, like, whatever. But to that child, that hurts and that's valid and whatever. So I feel like it's his first COVID exposure.
Yep. It's
So.
so funny you say COVID because it's totally that. We're like, now we get COVID and it's like, I'm out of work for
Yeah,
2 days. Whatever, it'll be
exactly.
fine. I'll wear a
All
mask.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. It's imagine the first time you got a scratchy throat.
Yeah.
Being like when you're 27 and you're like, I'm gonna die. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Exactly.
I couldn't possibly pour myself water. Look at me.
They hear Lois's footsteps approaching, and Clark says to his parents,
She can't know anything about this.
Lois is just coming to check the fax machine because she thought she heard it making sounds. Martha is being very optimistic, telling Clark that she's sure he'll bounce right back. Jonathan, meanwhile, wonders how a rock that may have come from the same planet as Clark could make Clark sick. Martha says, well, because it's poison. That's all we gotta know.
Duh.
Love it.
Yeah, she also explained it to the audience, too, for
Yep,
some of us who weren't
just-
quite sure what this kryptonite was.
Great quick line. Again, like all you need is
It's
one
poison.
well done line on TV and
Mhm.
buys a lot.
Lois comes back in the kitchen holding a sheet of paper, a fax from the EPA. Ha, she says, this is a list of all the EPA cleanup sites, and Smallville is not on it. Then she takes one glance at Clark, stops dead in her tracks, and says, you look horrible. Then she does this really sweet thing where she kind of takes his chin in her hand to look at him. Then Clark quickly makes up an excuse about having allergies, and Martha and Jonathan play along. Yeah, Clark gets really bad allergies in the country at this time of year. And then Lois pats Clark on the back and tells him to feel better. I just love all the touching that's going on here.
So cute.
Yeah, you touch your coworkers this much, right?
I know.
Normal.
He does.
Yeah.
I try to avoid my coworkers. Sorry to you coworkers that listen.
Oh dear, here we go.
The next day, Lois and Clark go back to Wayne Irick's. After they park the car, Lois feels Clark's forehead and says,
You feel normal.
Clark replies kind of sadly,
I am normal.
and Lois takes that to mean that, well, then everything's okay. Let's go. They get out of the car, and Clark goes around to the back of the car and tries to lift it by the bumper, but he can barely make it move. And I thought this was a nice little throwback to our last episode, Smart Kids, where Clark actually held up the back of a car to save somebody. Now he can't do it.
I have to take your word for it. I probably will never rewatch Smart Kids. But that's a
Aw.
great. That's a good.
Aw, it's a great
I
one.
mean, oh,
It was
sorry.
the best part of the whole episode.
I
when
bet.
he lifted the
I'm
car.
sure that's true. That and decapitated R2D2. I'm sure that's true.
I also want to know, like, how mad Perry is going to be when he gets the bill for the convertible that they got. I love that they chose the convertible rental and not a cheap car.
Oops.
It was the 90s. Print journalism was doing fine. You know, he didn't
Yeah.
think twice about
Yeah.
It was the only car available, right?
it. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Get 3, you guys. Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Lois and Clark speak to Carol Sherman, the EPA, or potentially the EPA lady again. I don't know. She's with Bureau 39, but whatever. They think she's part of the EPA. Anyway, Lois shows her the facts that she got, and Carol shows them all of her paperwork, which is supposedly updated from what Lois has. Clark tries to x-ray the tent that's on Wayne Irick's property, but his powers fizzle and he's unable to see in. And it's too bad, too, because Wayne Irick is in that tent. He is still being interrogated by Trask. A little while later, Carol goes in and tells Trask that she needs to know what's at stake in order to do her job. So Trask relents. Inside the tent, a big box has arrived, and some guys are opening it. It turns out to be Superman's spaceship.
Matt's favorite thing.
My favorite thing in the whole world.
If you had asked me before this rewatch if Superman's spaceship appears in this episode, I've been like, no, I don't think so. I had totally forgotten that he dragged it to Smallville in this episode and showed it off.
What a beautiful surprise, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I had two. Why? Why does he have it there? Is there a reason? Just to show
Stuff.
Yeah.
It came.
Stuff.
Okay, here's the thing. It came from Smallville. It's got Superman's thing on it. Maybe this is a way to connect to whatever's happening with this weird rock. Like that's why we're here, right? Because like he's kind of narrowed this down to Superman has something to do with Smallville and this beautiful, perfect prop that we have. Yes.
And who knows? Maybe this spaceship he doesn't know could maybe attract Superman to him.
Right.
I mean, maybe could bring him in.
Or the rock could open the spaceship. You know, there's a million, so many possibilities.
Good idea.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Trask tells Carol that this is Superman's ship and that it was originally found in Smallville. So Trask knows he's onto something. He wants to hunt down Superman and kill him. Carol's like, why? Superman hasn't done anything hostile. Trask says, not yet, but he's just the first. He's here to soften us up and then bring a bunch of other aliens to our planet. But he's not going to let that happen. And then 2 seasons later, we do get the aliens coming to Smallville.
His presence does, in fact, attract more aliens, but...
We cut back to Lois and Clark, and they're at the Corn Festival now. They've just spent a few hours at City Hall, and now they're getting some food at an outdoor area restaurant sort of thing, which I think is either adjacent to the Corn Festival or somewhere out there. And Lois is annoyed with Clark because he apparently said to someone, don't mind my friend Lois, she's from Metropolis. A server approaches. Her name's Maisie, and she knows Clark. She introduces herself to Lois and then asks Lois a question about her romance novel. Lois gives Clark the death stare, and Clark stammers,
I must have accidentally mentioned it to my mother, who might have...
Accidentally told the whole town.
I gotta say, I was watching this with my wife the other day. She's like, Lois writes a romance novel? I'm like, yeah, it's like an ongoing thing. She's like, does it come back? I'm like, well,
oh God,
honey, you should ask.
Yeah, sure does.
Lois told him that when they were on the plane about to get thrown out by Trask. And not only did Clark remember, but he wasn't traumatized enough to be like, just mentions it to his mother.
I mean, he knew he was going to survive that. There was no rock then. You know.
I think it's funny because I think maybe Clark shouldn't have passed that information on, but at the same time, he just loves talking about Lois so much. It just came out.
It was cute.
Yeah. Maisie says, that's just how it is around here.
Everybody knows everything about everybody else.
Lois says, if that's true, how come I haven't heard any dirt on Clark here? Says Maisie, well, with Clark here, what you see is what you get. Well, if that is completely not true. I just think it's sweet how many people in the town, Rachel Harris, Wayne, Maisie, they all love the Kents. They all know who Clark is and are happy to see him and are just full of fuzzy feelings. And just wish we could have gotten more Smallville episodes like this.
That would have been good.
I agree, man. Like I love too that this episode does like the second act of a rom-com, right? Where we watched 10 Things or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days the other day, and it's like this is them going back to the family home and playing bullshit and like learning how to drive the motorcycle, and you know, we don't quite get to sex in the shower in this episode, but it's like it's that moment of things. It's so nice, and like all he ever wanted was to bring a nice girl home and have a normal weekend. And yes, he's sick, but he's kind of getting what he wants here. Like, I love that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Maisie hands Lois and Clark the paper menus, and after she walks off, Clark yelps. He's gotten a paper cut. His first one ever. What the heck?
I'm bleeding.
Haven't you ever had a paper cut before?
Not that I can remember.
Put it in your mouth and suck on it.
Suddenly, the gigantic cell phone that's been lying on the table starts to ring. They both reach for it, and Lois manages to knock Clark's water cup into his lap. She answers the phone. It's Wayne Eyrig. First, Lois talks to him and then passes it to Clark. Wayne says that he's on his way to visit his sister in Salt Lake City, but he sounds not good, not right, and then has to abruptly hang up. And then we see that he's being monitored on this phone call by Trask.
Do you remember the wave files from IRC that would play?
You guys.
And there was one that said, put it in your mouth and suck on it. Every time people would play that in the chat room, I would cringe because my mother would be sitting on the couch behind me. And I'm like, stop playing that wave file, please.
You're going to get kicked out of the IRC.
Yeah, meanwhile, your mother's like,
turn the computer
I
off.
knew that they were saying the right thing about the internet on local news, you know?
Yes. I was like, oh no. Every time it felt like it was every time she was in the room, that would be played. I'm like, stop it.
Lois and Clark know something seems to be up with Wayne Eyrig, and Lois decides they're going to go mingle and talk to people around Smallville just to see what they can find out. Maybe to see if anyone's seen Wayne Eyrig. A little while later, Martha, Jonathan, and Clark are sitting at one of the outdoor tables. Jonathan says he hopes the feds won't find anything at Eyrig's and will eventually give up and go home. Then the three of them have a conversation about being normal, and Clark, to demonstrate how he's still not got his strength back, goes over to the hammer swing game, the high striker hammer swing game, and tries it, and he gets, pretty high, but not to the top, so at least he can do it. I mean, like last night he couldn't lift the water pitcher, now at least he can play high striker.
He picked up that heavy hammer. Yeah, good call.
That's some improvement.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Corn Queen in the background wearing a bathing suit?
A lot of strange things.
I saw some weirdness happening in the background.
And some clowns.
Of the festival.
Lots of clowns.
Was the person wearing a purple leotard?
Yes, it was either like a purple leotard or a purple bathing suit with that purple hat, cowboy hat.
Yeah, they were paired up. She was paired up with the clown.
With the clown.
Purple leotard.
I'm sorry.
Pictured Ultra Woman immediately, by the way.
Oh dear. Oh no.
But yes, that is not what a Corn Queen pageant winner wears. I'm just saying.
Oh, do tell, Julie. Sorry.
They they wear a full dress, not like a leotard or a bathing suit.
And you know this because it's in your closet?
No. No, because we have corn festival. I'm from the country. And I've been to corn festivals. They have one every year. That is not what they wear.
Okay.
Has anybody been to a corn festival?
I honestly didn't know they were real till now.
They are.
This is not judgment at all. I find that very adorable. But I always thought it was like a Smallville couldn't make that name up type thing. Like, of course there's a corn festival here. That's amazing.
No,
I've been to boat parades.
Festival.
Like, I'm not saying I'm better than it. I'm just that's funny.
No, corn festivals are a real thing. It's actually pretty accurate, I would say. They have the carnival games and this square dancing and corn on the cob and
husk off.
Apple. They have a husk off. There is a corn queen. There's a whole pageant. The only thing that I'm sad they didn't include that ours has, which is very funny, are outhouse races.
Say more.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What? Can't just drop that. Like it means
this is something that I always go to, and I always look at the schedule of the events or whatever, and I'm like, I gotta go to the outhouse race because it's ridiculous. There are several outhouses on wheels, and they have the corn queen and the corn pageant girls or whatever. One person sits inside the outhouse on the toilet. The door's open so you can see everything that's going on, and the other girl pushes the outhouse to the finish line and back. They go down the whole thing and they come back, and it's who wins. It's pretty funny. Outhouse races.
The cornets do this?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
It's pretty fun to watch and absolutely ridiculous. Yes.
That's pretty great.
Outhouse races are a thing. They didn't include that, and I'm sad.
Is the talent portion of the corn queen situation, does it have to be corn based?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Wow, I've been missing out.
Yes.
Let's go.
They're great. They're
Let's
great.
go.
I do have
Field
a
trip.
video. I thought I shared that with you once. The video? No, I didn't.
Mm-mm.
It's pretty funny.
I'm sure this is genuinely a great time.
It
Like,
is.
next time they have one, you need to either wear a clown costume or a purple outfit and like do a
Yes.
do a video.
Say, that is not what they wear.
Whatever you don't
Then,
wear, have Chris do the other thing. So like if you do
No.
I say he's in denim and you're in a brown maroon
yeah, the
sundress
dress.
here. Yeah,
There
yeah,
you
yeah.
go, the dress.
Yeah, okay, that's better.
I would love to find the dress. If anybody knows where that is, I would
So
buy
it's-
that.
That is like
that
a
dress.
key Lois piece from this show,
That-
by the way.
that's a
Like
good
it's
prop,
it's
yeah.
so iconic.
That would be amazing.
All right, so after Clark demonstrates his not quite super strength, Lois walks up and she's wearing a nude dress and boots, and she's spotted at the festival. Clark has a very approving look, but Martha has the best face because she glances at Lois and then turns to Clark and is
Mhm.
just like grinning, like,
Uh-huh.
son, I'm watching for your
Aw.
reaction.
It is adorable.
The best. This is also the music cue here is so nice too. Like that's what feels like the rom-com of it is so it just knows what it's doing, the show.
Mm-hmm.
I made a note of that. It's written in my notes. Like the score of this episode feels different. I don't know if it was different or maybe I just noticed it this time. But especially later on in the episode, I definitely noticed the music.
It's got a country music
Yeah,
twang to it, you know, like the
That's
Jake
good.
Ruska knows what he's doing, man.
I like it.
Right, then Lois and Clark then go off and do some line dancing.
Are we going to talk about
Lois?
this?
Hey, the line dancing? Yeah.
Anyone
Uh-oh.
bring it up? Like,
Uh-oh.
In the draft script, it had Lois actually asking Clark to dance with her
oh,
as long as he promised not to tell anyone at the planet.
Interesting. Cute.
Yeah.
hmm.
I like that she's the line dancing aficionado here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can do it, but he's
He
he's
did
trying.
it.
Right. He's been
He
to a
did it.
corn festival before. He
Yeah.
can line dance his way through something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys notice this the first time? And I've watched this episode a billion times. I noticed that Martha and Jonathan were also dancing behind
what?
them.
Oh, I did.
Never noticed.
No.
Never.
Adorable.
Okay, wow.
Jonathan can't dance. Oh, no.
Well,
Aw.
we're not all a triple threat, okay?
Yeah.
But Martha was having fun.
Aw.
That's adorable.
not
You gotta,
noticed that.
gotta go back and watch that because I'd never noticed until this time. I was like, oh, it's Jonathan and Martha. I'm looking for everything now.
I love this version of Lois too that's like tried to do the dating scene thing, like tried to do like the singles meetup thing apparently when she went to
Yeah.
line dance and meet guys, to find guys. Like that's just a funny, like that does feel like what a younger Lois might do, and we've now met Lois at the ripe old age of 27 or 20, whatever she is, and she's like done
Practically
with it.
washed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, old maid Lois, as I said.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just done with it.
Lois gets a caramel apple and they go back to the hammer game. Clark tries it 3 times, and on the 3rd try, he hits the bell. Does this mean his strength is returned? Maybe not quite, but at least he gets a prize. Actually, Lois does. She is offered either a black and white. Is it a bear or a mouse? Settle this for me.
I say it's a mouse.
Oh,
It
I always
looks like
thought it
a
was a
mouse to
bear.
me.
I'm gonna vote bear.
You think it's a bear? I always
Yeah.
thought it was a mouse.
Molly?
It's got big ears.
I always thought bear, but in high school, my friend Gretchen and I used to get in fights over. She thought it was a mouse, and I thought it was a bear. So
I think
we
it's a
still haven't settled it.
mouse.
As we'll have to ask our listeners.
Interesting.
It's a mouse bear.
This feels like a social media poll to me. but-
Yeah, right. Here we go.
And Superman was scary, so I wouldn't have chose that either.
Superman is
Yeah.
from the 70s.
Scary.
Superman is from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's
a
merged
scary
from
looking
the movie.
Superman.
Can I talk about just for a sec? Like, I love, again, he just wants to be normal, right? Like, that's my favorite thing about Clark Kent is like, he's got all of this great burden of power put onto him. And in his heart of hearts, wants to have a white picket fence and, do a 9 to 5 and go home to his family every night. Like that is who he is, and he gets to do it here. And for a second, that other life almost impedes on it, and like, you know, he's gonna see her choose the version of him that she's infatuated with, and he can't like kind of compete with, and she chooses the bear. And like, to me, like, my heart melts when she does that, because it's just like, even like, she doesn't know obviously, but like, I feel like it's this moment of like, he doesn't play it or anything like that, but like, it could be this moment of fear for him, like, God, like, I gotta deal with Superman today. And she rejects it, and they just get to have a normal day, and it's just the sweetest thing to me.
But that was a good storytelling piece. I always noticed that same thing too, because like, she could have had the thing that, you know, she was in love with, and that, you know, Superman's up here and and Clark is down here, and instead she
Right.
chooses the bear, and it's like, it's so sweet.
It's lovely.
Good storytelling.
I still say it's a mouse.
Yeah, so Lois has to choose between this bear mouse and Superman, and Clark's just eye rolling it. But then when she chooses the stuffy, he's like, "Oh, happy surprise!" Then Lois remarks that she doesn't think she's ever seen Clark so relaxed before. She says,
You know, Clark, I don't think I've ever seen you so, I don't know, so relaxed. So sort of just Clark.
That's who I am, Clark.
which is kind of like, oh, we already know that we're not sure he's going to get all his powers back at this point. He's not sure he is. So.
Might be the end of the show, guys.
Lois and Clark, the new adventures of, and then it just stops.
Yeah,
Right?
can you believe it took me like 8 years to podcast about these 8 episodes of television? It's nuts.
All right, then we cut to the Daily Planet. And I don't know about you, but this cut always seems so jarring to me, because we've just spent the last 20 minutes in Smallville, and I've almost just forgotten that Metropolis and Perry even exist. And here we are, Perry is doing yoga and listening to bird sounds when Jimmy busts in and tells him Clark's on the phone. Perry starts talking to Clark, and then Kat comes in to say that Lois is online too. And when she says this, well, she makes like this face about like, it's like, okay, Kat, just get in a dig of her. She's not even in the same state as you right now.
I love it. Harry needs his pava leaves.
Yes, absolutely. I too find this jarring, because anytime I'm confronted with the fact that Perry has feet and that they're on, like, it was just,
Yeah.
it's an interesting cut.
Perry puts Clark on hold and starts talking to Lois, and basically, as they go back and forth, Clark tells Perry there's no story in Smallville and that Lois might as well come home. But Lois tells Perry that there's definitely something going on in Smallville, something big. Perry's like, didn't y'all discuss this with each other? He hangs up with both of them, and then Lois and Clark both realize they were each talking to Perry. Clark on his parents' phone, Lois on the cell phone.
Who are you
talking to?
They both give each other looks. But Perry seems to believe Lois, so he says he wants to send a photographer to Smallville. Jimmy volunteers to go, but Perry says, no, get me a real photographer. But luckily for Jimmy, all the other photographers are already on assignment out of town, so Perry tells Jimmy, okay, you can go. Jimmy then hugs Perry to thank him, and Perry gruffly says, don't you ever hug me again. Come on, Perry.
Poor Perry.
Loves you.
Poor Jimmy.
Poor Jim.
Yeah.
Poor Jimmy.
They hug later, right? Yeah.
I feel like they.
Jimmy number 2 does.
Not Jimmy. Not this Jimmy.
I was gonna say, this is like, Justin Whalen doesn't even get to have a scene like this, really. You know, like, it's not a fair comparison.
No.
Yeah, they're so different.
They have some more touching moments as the season goes on.
Sure.
Seems a little harsh. Don't ever hug me again. Fine. Back at the Eyrig farm, Lois and Clark are driving up for the 3rd time of this episode, and they park a little farther away this time, and then they kind of walk toward a nearby wooded area. Clark asks Lois what their plan is, and she doesn't actually have one. But wait, plan incoming.
Okay, here's the plan. We know that whatever they say they're doing is not what they are actually doing. So we'll just stay here till we see them doing it. Should have brought some lunch.
Great plan.
If you have a better one, speak up.
Suddenly, 3 guys in camo jump out of the bushes/trees, brandishing guns. Well, that wasn't part of the plan. Lois and Clark are put in a van and are driven to another location. And when they get out, Lois is angrily yelling, and then they see Trask. They're like, "Oh, Trask, what are you doing here?" Clark angrily asks Trask where Wayne Eyrig is. And Trask says he let Eyrig go, but something in his voice sounds sketchy. Lois tries to make an appeal to Carol Sherman, like, "You shouldn't be involved with this, come on." Trask tells his cronies to get Lois out of his sight, and they drag her off. Clark yells, "Lois!" But Trask says, "You stay, my business is with you." Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
Good guess, by the way, Trask.
Good guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes, his business is with Superman, correct? Yeah.
All right, so Trask starts interrogating Clark inside the tent. He says, "Superman came to Smallville about the same time you were born. There has to be a connection. Now tell me and live." He's serious.
It's one of the smarter
Game on.
villains so far.
Yeah.
Clark is adamant that he knows nothing, but Trask isn't buying it and has an interesting theory, saying that perhaps the alien has taken over Clark's mind and infused him with power. Say what? Like body snatcher? Thoughts on this theory? What?
Trask is so close, and yet he just keeps missing the mark.
Yeah, he's pulling from every sci-fi play in the book at this point. Like he's jumping at shadows, kind of.
Sherman enters, saying that Wayne is going to the Kent farm. Trask looks at Clark and says,
"Clark, why didn't you tell me this was a family affair?"
Did Trask not realize that the Kents and the Eyrigs were friends until this very moment?
You would think he's done a little bit of research on neighbors.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, maybe he did make some mistakes.
Just a few.
Huh.
Off Clark's "oh crap" reaction, we cut to the Kent farm, where Jonathan and Martha are contemplating what to do with the rock and what would be best for Clark. Jonathan is blaming himself while Martha tries to console him, saying basically how Clark wanted to be normal all his life. If that's what he wants, then... But Jonathan interjects saying it doesn't feel right because Clark is not normal. Normal for him is being super. We then see that Jimmy has been on stakeout in the bushes. He's just standing there munching on an apple, watching through a telephoto lens. He sees Clark being thrown into the van and takes some pictures. Dude, how long have you been standing there watching? Forget the pictures. Go get the cops, man. And also, what the F is he wearing? He looks like Elmer Fudd. Anyone?
Yeah, this does feel like City
What?
Boy trying to put his country outfit together in under 5 minutes, you know?
Yes. He's got like a red hunter hat on.
Lap. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just then, Wayne shows up at the farm looking a hot mess. Sweaty, broken fingers and all, clearly been tortured for information. He warns Jonathan that there are men with guns looking for the rock and they need to go to the police. Jonathan says, "You trust me, don't you? That green rock is dangerous, but we can't call the police and we can't let those men have it." Wayne wants more information, but Jonathan just says that it makes people sick and they need to destroy it. Just then, Trask kicks open the door and the rock is taken. So poor Clark is still in the van, hands and feet bound with steel shackles. Trask tells him that he now has his parents and he better give up Superman. Clark, desperate, realizes his situation and promises information if he lets them go. Trask agrees, but when Clark says that he's Superman, Trask aims his gun at him and Clark yells, terrified.
Wait, no, Trask, no!
To which Trask replies, "That was fear, Kent. Real fear. Superman doesn't fear guns."
Nice try. But I want the real thing.
Good.
I loved that
Writing.
confrontation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad. I felt bad throughout this, by the way, when I realized that one of my first guest on the podcast was actually Bryce Zabel, who wrote this episode, and he was an awesome guest and so kind to come back, and like he wrote the hell out of this episode. Like I love that moment and how we've like everything has led to that moment of him finally telling like the villain that it's him and not being able to prove it. Right? Like it's so good.
Jimmy stops his car in the middle of the street and jumps out to talk to the sheriff. She thinks he's bonkers because he's talking UFOs and wants her to call the military. But once he mentions Metropolis and the Daily Planet, she's like, OMG, my long lost love Clark Kent is in trouble? And, oh, her too. And they proceed to go check it out.
Julie, I feel like I remember somewhere hearing that this character was originally supposed to be Lana Lang from the comics, and then that got nixed. Does that ring a bell to anybody? Is that in your script, Julie? Did I just make that up?
It doesn't say in the script, but I do remember hearing, I think they wanted to and weren't allowed to.
Sure,
Possibly.
yeah.
Molly, do you remember this?
Because when they got the rights to Superman, they got the rights to certain things. They didn't get the rights to anything from Superboy, and she's from Superboy.
That's what it is. Okay,
Later
that makes
on,
sense.
They did, obviously, for Tempest Anyone, but so there were a couple things that they couldn't use on the show at first because of the specific.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't make this up. Like, obviously, she's kind of filling that role here, but yeah, interesting.
Totally. It would have made a little bit more sense, but
Yeah.
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
It's okay.
The
Clark
least
is
of the
around.
continuity. Yeah. The least of the continuity if she was on the show.
right. I also love when she's like, did Clark ever mention me?
Cute.
All right, back at the site, Lois is held captive. Sherman enters and Lois convinces her to let her go because if Trask kills someone, she will be an accessory to murder. Sherman is torn, but she begins to untie Lois and tells her Trask's plan to murder Clark's parents by burning the place down. She also mentions the rock and what Trask believes it will do. We then see Martha, Jonathan, and Wayne tied together on the floor of the shed. Trask's Goonies pour gasoline around and he says, just remember, you give your lives in the cause of humanity. Cut to the sheriff's car, where dispatch relays a call from Lois telling them not to go to the site, but to get to the Kent farm instead. When Lois realizes Jimmy is there as well, she tells him that they need to warn Superman somehow. He proceeds to stick his head out the window like a dog and uses his dog whistle watch. Jen, dogs.
I know. I love it. I also feel like this right here, the angles of the camera and the fast-paced storytelling, it feels like a movie and I freaking love it. It's so good.
I'm with
But
you.
yes,
I like that.
Dog.
The dog whistle.
I like too the way that they find out that it's Lois on the radio, where like they're on the police radio, and it's just like some woman talking about a rock and the EPA and the Kent farm. She sounds crazy.
UFOs and
patch her through. What's up, Lois? Yeah, like Sheriff Rachel is up to speed at this point.
Right.
I love how quickly she agrees to help Jimmy when she realizes he's with Clark, or he knows Clark. She's like, Clark.
And her little she gives the keys to like her deputy or whatever. Like park this car somewhere legal.
Park this somewhere legal.
Awesome in this, yeah.
It was great. I also want to mention something that was also in the script that I thought was funny here. Rachel pulls over and tensely loads her weapon. Jimmy asks if she's ever fired it before, and she replies, of course I fired it. On the range. She then proceeds to ask if Lois loves Clark, to which Jimmy says, I don't think so. She pretty much loves her work.
Interesting.
Okay. So yeah, she doesn't know how to shoot a gun, maybe. Very well.
She knows. She's never had to. Yeah.
She's never had to, I guess.
Good
Okay.
news. Yeah. Time well spent.
Yeah. Time well spent on the range.
Yeah.
Nothing happens in Smallville. Back to the Kents. Trask throws a match on the ground and flames race towards the shed. The van is parked nearby, ready for the getaway. Martha screams, ah! In a shocking change of events.
Sorry, what did she scream, Julie? I'm so sorry.
Ah!
Oh, thank you. Cool.
She seems to be the only one yelling. The other two are just, whatever.
Over it.
In a shocking change of events, suddenly, Clark hears the super whistle and realizes, I'm back. He snaps free and bursts through the doors of the van. They go flying through the air. He sees the flames, and with his super breath, he inhales them and then blows the smoke skyward.
I had two things about this scene. One is he's fallen asleep, apparently, in the van, which Clark falls asleep at the worst times in this series, I'm telling you. And also,
That's
I was
true.
always thinking, like, why does he get his powers back when he's in the van? And then I realized there's like a little beam of sunlight coming through the top. And I did not notice that before this episode.
Nicely done.
In
I'm
the
assuming
van?
that was
Yeah.
that changed everything, that beam of sunlight.
That's
Yeah,
it.
the one little beam of sunlight.
Thank God they didn't park in a shady area, you know?
Seriously.
Clark races into the shed and whispers, quite loudly actually, considering Wayne is right there.
Superman's back.
He then turns to confront Trask, who now knows his secret. Clark tells him that he's going to prison for murder, kidnapping, for abuse of power. Trask threatens to expose Clark's secret. Clark super speeds up to him right into Trask's trap. He has been holding the rock behind his back the entire time. Clark staggers back and falls to the ground in pain, fighting to breathe. Trask stands over him, places the rock on the ground in front of him, gloating that he's won. He suddenly roundhouse kicks Clark and begins to walk away. He's got some moves.
I have a question. So he's holding the kryptonite behind his back. It's not in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And why?
Uh-huh.
It's
Yep.
like after this one line, oh, wait a second, kryptonite, I don't feel good anymore. So what, did he walk too close? He was exposed the whole time. It's not like he took something out from behind his back. It's not like it was in a lead-lined, box.
Kryptonite continuity seems airtight to me, Jen. I don't know what
Okay,
you're talking about.
all right. Well,
I see no issues.
Yeah, I can't think of a single issue here.
I was like, maybe it's just me. I don't.
When it's a
okay.
battery operated kryptonite,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Yes.
I don't know, what is the range of kryptonite? Like we've seen Lois just like throw it away for him,
Yeah.
and it's better. Who
Yeah,
knows?
true.
5 feet.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be
alright.
on top of that kryptonite, yeah.
Clark crawls towards the rock and with his remaining strength grabs it and throws it as far as possible as the radiation burns his hands. It slams into a giant rock in the pond and smashes into a million little pieces. Beautifully, might I add.
And then he fights in the pond that's littered with kryptonite.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then a well-choreographed fight ensues. We see that Trask has some skills. Karate kicking, flipping over hay bales, and using a shovel. They both tumble into the pond, where the fight continues until Clark has him pinned against the large rock. Clark raises his fist, and Trask says, "Go on, kill me. I would have killed you, Superman." To which Clark replies, "That's not how I work." As he walks away, out of the water, and picks up his glasses and puts them on. Rachel, Lois, and Jimmy arrive with backup. Trask pulls his gun. Lois yells, "Clark!" But in a split second, Rachel saves the day by shooting Trask dead, who then sinks down into the pond like Jack from Titanic.
The shot of her shooting him too is like Al Powell from Die Hard too. Like it feels like very action movie there too. Yeah, cool.
Oh, that's the best. I don't like. I think I've already said this before. I don't like watching fights, so I'm never super into like the Superman like fighting the bad guy stuff. But this scene here is so dang good. Like the way that I don't know if it's the way they're choreographing it or what, but they're fighting in the water and it just looked so good.
It's because
so
Clark
real.
is all wet, right? It's because Clark is
he
all
looks
wet.
hot as hell here. Let's be very clear.
That could be part of it. But and then he had to go find his glasses. He just knew where his glasses were. A good thing.
Yeah.
Because here comes Lois and the sheriff. So
There's
good.
something cool though about him being depowered here and just having to brawl it out and it's a little ugly, right? Like it's not super.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like pretty fighting. It's that hurt fighting. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he held his own.
Yeah,
it was good. He was good. Yeah, I love it.
I bet you like the next scene too, where Lois rushes to Clark. We get a cute forehead touch and a hug.
Aww.
I love you guys.
Aww.
Everybody cued in on this forehead touch. I don't remember what that moment is.
Aw. Then we're going to cut back to the Daily Planet, where Perry is reading an article. It reads, blah, blah, blah. He came to see this strange visitor from another planet where he was not, and to see enemies where there were none. Obviously, this is Lois's perspective, and Clark is fine not sharing the byline because he was too close to it. Perry's only note was that the rock needed a name. Lois mentions that nobody can even find it. The sample Eirik sent to the lab disappeared, and they aren't even sure it ever existed. But then goes on to suggest Kryptonium, since Trask thought it was from the planet Krypton. But Clark interjects saying that it should be called Kryptonite because it was a piece of meteorite. She says, "You're always editing my copy." To which he replies, "Next time, you fight the bad guys and I'll write the story." So she concedes.
Okay, Kryptonite.
Jimmy is disappointed that his signal watch didn't work, but Lois expressed to not give up on it because Superman was at Metropolis and they were in Smallville. But as we know, he gives up on it. He probably throws it away because we never see it again. We end the episode with Jimmy asking Clark, "So CK, now that you won the big thrill in Smallville, how you feeling?" And we fade out as Clark smiles and says,
I'm feeling super.
and that's our episode.
Claps all around. Everybody did a great job.
Yay!
Yay. Such a cheesy ending. Oh, I feel like super.
Not
But it's so
bad.
good.
Yeah, come on. What
So
do we
good.
watch
No,
him?
he's back. He's got his powers.
Mhm.
Or at least we assume he does.
Can I be the comic nerd? Do you guys know the origin of Kryptonite, like where it comes from? Like why they invented it, I guess that's what I should say.
No, uh-uh.
It was invented in the very popular at the time radio show where it was a daily radio show and like kids just like went crazy for it the way like this was like height of Superman popularity in like the 40s. And Bud Collyer, who played Superman in it, needed a vacation, like wanted 2 weeks off. So they invented Kryptonite so that he would sound weak and sound different and not be in the episodes as much, so that they could get away with Superman sounding different for a little bit as he's recovering from his kryptonite poisoning, basically, while Bud Collier's on a
Wow.
beach for 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Isn't that crazy? And
That's
then it becomes
creative.
this like indelible part of the myth. It's just like he didn't
The whole-
fly
Yeah.
really till like the radio show and the first cartoons, basically, where they were like, "I'm sorry, it'd be so much cooler if we could draw him flying." And DC went, "Yes," and here we go.
Wow,
That's
that's cool. That's crazy.
Yeah, fun stuff. I love how it, Lois and Clark is one part that we love, that I love the most of this 80 plus years legacy of these characters. It's so cool.
Was there anything else you wanted to talk about in this episode? Any other things you may have noticed for the first time, or?
I mean, this is super small, but the sound effect of Clark when he touched the kryptonite and you hear that sizzle when his hand touched it, that was perfection. And now
That's great.
like I can feel it. Like when I'm watching it, I can feel like it burns. I don't know. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it for him. So whoever decided, oh, we need the sound of like something sizzling. Great job.
Bacon.
Good
Bacon.
call.
I think
Good call.
in House of Luther later, yeah, when he touches it, like it
The
hurts
bars.
more than if he's just next to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they keep that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time Dean does his hurt acting too, which is just always so funny to watch
Yeah.
a Superman actor. Everyone does it the same way. It's just like an instant like headache and kicked in the stomach or something.
Yeah.
Just, oh god.
Falls over.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Wayne Eirik has to know that Clark is Superman now because it's just, yeah. Which I'm sure he's going to keep it a secret for the Kents, but I would have loved to follow up with that. Just something. I mean, he went through a lot for the Kent family and for keeping their secrets, so
No kidding.
poor guy. Do you guys think it was a bad idea to publish Kryptonite's possible existence in the Daily Planet? Even though Lois thinks it doesn't actually maybe even exist yet, Lex Luthor definitely catches on and starts looking for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say definitely yes. Bad idea, but I mean, if you're trying to sell papers, good idea. So
Yeah. We wouldn't have a show
Yeah.
if they
It
did. I
moves
mean, like
everything
we
along.
would, but yeah.
So
Self-publish.
can I ask a deep Lois and Clark question in oh God, what is the name of that episode? A Bolt from the Blue. She talks about burying the Kryptonite story. That's not this, right? Like she's talking about, I guess, Madame X in that. Okay, cool. It's good to be amongst friends like this. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. Madame X is when she finally is like, oh, this is real stuff.
Right. This
And then
this
she
is
keeps it a secret.
something real, and I'm going to take this out of the story. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
When planning this podcast, we decided on a number of things we each wanted to focus on in every episode. Jen, what is your vote for the wildest excuse Clark makes in this episode?
Okay.
I'm gonna say allergies.
Yeah, the allergies was a good one. I didn't really come up with anything big. I mean, that was allergies, and then the watch going off. Clark heard some ringing in his ears, and Perry was like, "Clark, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." I mean, he didn't even give an excuse. So, I probably allergies is the best. Allergies.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. It won't happen again.
Right, Julie, did you notice any goofs or bloopers in this episode?
I really only caught a couple. When Clark swings the hammer while playing that strongman game, there are a bunch of people standing on the gazebo stairs watching him. The next second, they are all gone. They vanished. Very quickly.
They heard that the Corn Queen was over there, so they ran.
They're like, oh no, gotta go.
Yeah. Like, oh no, the outhouse races. We have to go.
Yeah. I wish.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then something that bothers me every time I watch this episode, when maybe you guys have noticed, you've got to have, because this is it's noticeable. When Trask gets shot and is sinking in the water, you can clearly see that there's a hollow space under that giant rock.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
It's basically a big rock hideaway. Just raise the water level 2 inches, guys. It bugs me. It's just 2 inches short. Really?
What?
It's so obvious.
I have too noticed this. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I hate it.
You're not crazy. I mean, like, this is all crazy, but you're not crazy. Yeah.
Yes. So basically, so he can sink down and back up into the rock so he doesn't die in real life.
Okay.
Oh, is that why? I thought it was just bad prop making.
I'm guessing it's so he can sink down and go in something.
That's
but
pretty great.
Maybe not. I don't know.
No, that's pretty funny if that's true.
It sounds kind of dangerous to ask the actor to do even that, though. I wonder.
It's right behind him.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah. But every time I'm like, just raise the water 2 inches and you won't see it. But that's it.
One of my jobs is to talk about any real life people, places, or events that are mentioned in any episode. In this one, we got a nod to the Wizard of Oz, or at least Dorothy. We had a mention of Salt Lake City, along with a separate, unrelated mention of Utah, the state in which Salt Lake City is, and also got a nod to Winnipeg, a city in Manitoba, Canada. Perry brings up Love Canal, which was a neighborhood in Niagara Falls, New York, that was notorious for having been a dumping ground for hazardous waste in the early 20th century. It was this whole thing. So many people got sick. And at the time of this episode airing, the litigations were still going on. And I was reading up on it. And like, even to this day, people that live nearby are still reporting that they're getting sick. It's a fascinating read, but also just huge tragedy.
Yikes.
Anyway, for what Perry says about that first reporter pulling in a Pulitzer Prize, he's almost correct. There was a reporter named Michael Brown who wrote a book about the fiasco back in 1980. It was called Laying Waste: The Poisoning of America by Toxic Chemicals. And that book got nominated for a Pulitzer. So,
cool.
Nice. I don't think I'll read it, but cool.
What?
I just kind of thought they were talking about Aaron Brockovich, but I guess that was too early. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote this whole long thing on it because I was like, I could talk for 10 minutes about this, but I think I'll bore everybody. So if you're interested, go read that. But
Check out the end credits of the episode.
Yeah.
well, that's where Julie's going to put her 16-word summary of PG-13.
Yeah. X-rated tags. I'm into it.
Jen, we were in Smallville this week, which should be the ultimate site for animals galore. So were there any in this episode?
I don't even want to talk about it. No, we lost an opportunity. The one time you could put an animal on the screen and like it's in a festival. We're outside, we're in Smallville, and there's no big fat zero.
There's a stuffed animal on screen, and we can't even agree on what it is.
Exactly.
Is it a mouse or a bear? Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
that's
all the
big
cheetah?
question. The fake
There
cheetah.
was the cheetah in the shed.
No, it's not real. I want real animals. Come on, guys. It's okay. It's coming. I might at least have a tiger someday, so it's fine.
2 years. 2 years.
And a monkey.
Look out, season 2 or season 3.
Yeah, and a monkey. Yeah, exactly.
You got time for that monkey. It'll be a few years.
Oh, the monkey.
The monkey.
Oh. It's gonna be the best part of that episode. Let me
And
tell
Can we
you.
just skip over that episode?
Step by step. What's that girl's name? Doesn't matter. The monkey.
Stacy.
Yeah,
Keenan.
something.
Yeah.
Stacy Keenan.
Nice.
Yeah.
On a scale from A+ to F-, what would you rank this episode? We'll start with Jen.
So Trask's in this episode, and he's one of my top 3 villains. This episode to me feels like a little movie. I've already said that, with like the fast-paced scenes and the slick camera work, and it just keeps things moving. And I've never really noticed the score before, but I definitely noticed it in this one, and I loved it. I thought it pulled it all together. Plus, I just loved seeing Clark being quote unquote normal for a bit, and watching Lois dig that side of him. It just gave us some really good waffy moments. So I'm going with an A. It would have been an A+ if there had been an animal or a kiss, but I digress. So I've always loved this one.
All right. Overall, I think this is one of the best episodes of season 1. It's probably going to land in my top 10 for the series. I think it's cool how it's a continuation from Strange Visitor, and together they make a nice mini arc, but you didn't have to see Strange Visitor before you see this one to enjoy it. It's got a great blend of intense and dramatic scenes, plus fun and carefree ones. I don't like really seeing, people getting hurt, Wayne Eyrig and Clark and everything. I mean, poor Martha and Jonathan, goodness gracious, but hopefully they'll all recover from the whole traumatic situation in due time. And like I mentioned during my recap, the only part of the episode that doesn't quite work for me is when we cut back to the Daily Planet and Perry's doing the yoga, because it just feels like, oh no, what are we doing here? I just almost wish that they could have found some other way to explain Jimmy getting to Smallville and not have brought us back there. Despite that, it's a solid episode, A+. Julie.
I want to give it an A+. It is in my top 5 of the whole series, because I love this episode. I rewatch it a lot. But I'm going to go with an A. I'm taking it down a tiny peg because of that darn rock in the lagoon.
You tell him.
Bugs me.
Oh. But how do you really feel?
A. I hate it. It's fake rock. If I could tell it's fake, it bugs me. So it gets an A.
It's still good. It's still
Fair
good.
enough.
Still very good, and definitely my top 5 ever, probably.
Right, Matt.
Yeah, I again, we're doing these like ranking episodes right now. This was my number 2 for season 1 recently, just below the pilot, which is like almost in its own category. Like this episode is pretty flawless. I'm sure it will be in my top 5 or 10 whenever we get to that ranking too. But yeah, no, for an episode with so little Superman, it does literally everything else right, and is so enjoyable as a standalone thing. So I've got to side with the A+ here. I'm coming in strong. You can't ask for much more from this show. A+.
Yay.
Well, this episode's going to graduate, and that's great. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. We want to especially thank our guest, Matt, for coming on our pod. Of course, everyone should check out Lois and Clark, the new podcast, Superman. But, Matt, is there anything else you'd like to plug? Socials, other projects?
Yeah, socials are all, at Lois and Clark. I'm also, the other thing that I'm weirdly obsessed with, besides Lois and Clark, is the 13-episode Birds of Prey TV series from the early 2000s. So I've got Always Hold On to Birds of Prey podcast coming out later this year, so check that out. But no, the podcast is I've been trying to do one a month this year, just since the show is ending. Like, I cannot apparently stay out of 90s Metropolis. And we just did a really fun, weird one where we pitched what if Lois and Clark crossed over with the Batman Forever universe and they did like a TV movie together. So I don't know, check out all of that when you're bored and waiting for new episodes from these guys. But again, I just want to say thank you, for having me on, and congratulations to you guys. And I wish you the best. I hope you're having just a blast doing this, because I know that I did, and it gave me so much in my life, not to mention like 4 of my greatest friends, and extended friends, Julie and like everybody else. So it's such a lovely thing to get to do together, and I love that you guys are doing it as a group, and I truly just I can't wait to see what your show becomes as you keep going here. So congratulations and good luck.
Yay. Thanks. It's been fun. And can you believe when you asked me to be on your show like years ago, how long it took me
to say yes?
to say yes, because I was terrified.
And how short the turnaround from that guest spot to I've got my own podcast. And I'm like,
I got a podcast now.
She literally came back to the group chat. She was like, I did Matt's. It was fun. I guess I'll be on our podcast.
Okay,
I'll
do it.
It only takes one,
You sold her.
First hit's free. Yeah.
But that was funny. Because I was like, I'm not going to do it. No.
You were so... I didn't know that there was this thing like brewing too. So the fact that you went right from that to that, and I'm like, I've created a monster, apparently. I don't know.
Yes, you have. Yes. It's a problem.
And for our listeners, the next episode we'll be covering is Season 1, Episode 9, Man of Steel Bars. So be sure to join us for that in 2 weeks. And Matt, can we please get a sign off from you? You know what we want.
Oh my God, sure. I mean, for this is so weird. Like, do I go last? How do you want to do this?
You just say what you say. We want to hear it. We want to hear it in
person. We want to hear it.
For Folks Forever, I'm Matt Truex. Molly.
I'm Molly.
Julie.
I'm Julie.
Yeah.
And I'm Jen.
Folk off, everybody.
Yay!
That's so fun. All right, cool.
I love it. That was cool.
Fun.
You can find us on Instagram or Blue Sky as Folks Forever. That's FOLCSFOREVER. Or you can visit our website at folksforeverpod.wixsite.com/podcast. And until next time, please enjoy this bonkers little ditty.
Found a meteor, glowing green light. Handed it to John with a small plea. Hide it before they come, just trust me. Trask's got his eyes set on the prize. Says it'll make the strongest man cry. He hunts the stone with the fire in his eye. Wants to see Superman say goodbye. It's a chase down the darkened road. Secrets buried, ready to explode. Superpowers fade when the stone is near. The Man of Steel feels something unclear. Lois says, Clark, we've gotta go. A story's brewing and we need to know. But Clark feels weak. It's a chase down the darkened road. Secrets buried, ready to explode. Superpowers fade when the stone is near. The Man of Steel feels something unclear. Screams, I've got what you fear. The end of Superman is finally here. But Clark stands tall, though his breath is gone. A hero's strength stays all alone. It's a chase down the darkened road. Secrets buried, ready to explode. Superpowers fade when the stone is near. The Man of Steel feels something unclear.